What's up, boyos? Today we are talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp. I am joined today. My name is Jake, by the way. My name is Jake. I'm joined today by the one and only Paul Rudd.
Hello, everybody.
Oh my God,
Hello.
Paul! It's so good to hear your voice.
It is me, Mr. Rudd.
I have so many questions for you. What's it like working with Michael Douglas? Like, what is that like?
Michael Douglas, great friend of mine.
Yeah.
We go to dinner with.
Paul, I gotta tell you, your mic is just it's just cutting out like crazy, Paul. I gotta tell you. Fantastic. Maybe we should stop streaming Paul Rudd. That was great though. That was fantastic. It was great to talk to Paul Rudd. He likes working with Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
Now that Paul Rudd is gone though, today I'm joined by Nick.
Hello.
We're gonna be talking about Ant-Man. Nick's been having internet issues, so we're gonna see how this goes. But
I'm just like Paul Rudd though.
Yeah, Paul was having internet issues too.
He was having internet issues.
It was great to talk to him. I really wanted to ask him about Michelle Pfeiffer. She's a living legend.
It's too bad that he was having such terrible internet issues.
I know. It's just, it sucks, man.
The other day where Paul's in the office.
Yeah. But today we're talking about Ant-Man and the Wasps. Wasp?
The multiple wasps.
There are two wasps in this movie. There's two Ant-Men as well. Quantumania is what it's called. I guess I'll start with you, Nick. What did you think overall of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania?
This movie started out really bad. Like, I would probably put it as the worst for the reason things happen in this movie. Like, it just goes straight into, like, here's the characters. We don't have time to set them up at all for any reason. Here's this thing that happened. There's no reason behind it, but you're just gonna have to trust us that this is happening. And there's no characters in this beginning section. We're just gonna go, and now we're in the quantum realm, and now the movie actually starts. Like, I feel like it was just so fucking quick. Like, what was the fucking reason for Ant-Man's daughter to build a thing?
Right.
And why wouldn't she tell the family? Why was the Wasp's mom not sharing any fucking details over the last couple of years? What the fuck? I thought that's why Ant-Man was going into the quantum realm, so that they could like study it. But there was no mention of like him actually like getting stuck in the quantum realm or anything like that from the past movies. Like, it's so disjointed and so rushed. And then once we kind of get into it, I think after what's his face is no longer in the movie. Ghostbusters guy.
Paul Rudd?
No.
Oh, Bill Murray.
Paul Rudd? Bill Murray. I think
Paul Rudd was in that new Ghostbusters movie, so.
Yeah, he sure was.
Yeah.
He sure was. I feel like after Bill Murray's character was gone, then things kind of ended, like the pacing and the reasons behind certain things was better explained and had more reason for anything. But it took like 30 minutes for me to even give a shit about what was going on.
Yeah.
There's a moment, and they skip between the two sets of characters, and there's a moment where one of the sets of characters is like hiding from these robots, and in the next scene they are just in an open field being like hunted down by some alien people. And it's like, how did they get there? Why are they there? They stand right in that open fucking field, and we got no answers now. But it was so strange. Like, the beginning of this movie is terrible. It's just the worst Marvel thing I've ever seen. But it comes around towards the end. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, that's kind of where I stand on it too. I thought it was like it's okay. I didn't hate it. I don't think I hate like any of these Marvel movies. I think they're all like kind of fine. Like even the bad ones are like fine, and that goes for this one too. Like it's fine, but like I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, man, this movie's pretty rough. I feel about this movie. I think the way a lot of people felt about Thor: Love and Thunder. Like people really fucking hated Thor: Love and Thunder, where I thought it was kind of fun, and this, I didn't think this movie was very fun at all. It also like didn't feel like an Ant-Man movie. Like all of the
No,
stuff
not at all.
that we had established in the first two movies just wasn't there. Like where the fuck was Luis? Like where was this man? You know?
Yeah.
Where was Luis? Well, I thought it was
Well,
weird that it wasn't Luis who had the book doing the book tour because he was like the storyteller guy. Like
right.
that would have
Yeah.
been so funny if it was him doing the voiceover and telling the story. Like that would have been great.
It was just so disjointed and it didn't make any sense. Um, why anything was going on or why the things were the way they were or why the characters chose to do what they were doing. It was just like trust us. And by the end of the movie you're like that was dumb. that there was no reason for this.
Yeah.
And this is essentially the first phase 5, phase 4,
Five.
phase 5 movie, and if this is the setup for what's to come, it's rough.
Yeah.
It is really rough, and I'm not looking forward to it.
I'm not gonna
However,
hate it just for that reason, just because if you remember the start of phase 2 was Iron Man 2. So
right, right, but you brought up a good point when we left the theater was you can tell this movie was made entirely during COVID.
yeah,
Um,
you can smell
and
it.
I think that is very prominent in this because there is like I feel like there is no practical effects. There is nobody in the movie. And when you get to see characters interact, it's twos. It's like two people,
And they're
three people
standing far
maximum.
apart.
And they're not next to each other. And like there's even a scene that I thought was really jarring was Ant-Man and his daughter like running together for no reason. It's just like a scene of really poorly put together like B-roll footage of Ant-Man and his daughter just running, and it was so poorly put together. And there's like an explosion going on in the background. I'm like, why did they even include this? Like, this is terrible looking. The movie
Yeah.
looks really bad too. Like, there
Yeah.
are some points where I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, where the place where they meet Bill Murray, I think is kind of interesting with all the characters and the aliens or whatnot. But aside from that, everything looks really bad. Just over CG, and it's not going to last. This movie is not going to be
Well,
one of
and
those that
you
you
look
can
at the
come back to
backgrounds.
again.
You look at the backgrounds, right? And you're like, there's nothing back there. You know, like there's nothing
Oh yeah,
beyond that
oh
point.
yeah.
Like there's not like it doesn't feel like a real world. It feels like
Mm-hmm.
a green screen. And
Oh
even
yeah.
the way they're lit just feels like a green screen. And yeah, I want to give them like, a little bit of, shred of like, I get it. You had to film this
Leeway.
during COVID. Like that sucks. But you know what else filmed during COVID? The fucking Batman. And that movie looks amazing.
Yeah.
The Batman, Wakanda Forever, I think looks a lot better than this movie too, which was
Oh
also
yeah.
a film made during COVID.
Well, I just watched Wakanda Forever's like making of, and they had so many fucking practical effects that I didn't realize. Like they were actually going underwater and like holding their breath, and they had like free dive trainers on that, and it's like holy shit! Like the whole scene of them going into Atlantis is actually like underwater. You
Yeah.
know, where he's like taking her, and it's like holy shit, that's impressive as fuck. This movie, I feel like, was made in just one singular closet,
Like some dude's apartment. Yeah.
like some dude's apartment that they just painted green, and like this is what we got, and it's crazy. It's just crazy to me that was the welcome to Phase 5. Like,
It's like
great.
it's like they grabbed one of my ring lights, right? Set
Yeah.
set Paul Rudd and his daughter, Catherine Newton, I think is her name, the actor, and just stood them in front of a green screen with like some shitty ring lights and just said, okay, now do the script. This like terrible script, by the way. Like the writing is just like terrible in this movie. I think it's worth mentioning. Awful. Like it's some of the worst writing in the MCU.
Yes, it is.
Just like, and it's like it's so cheesy. And like, don't get me wrong, I like a good fun romp. Like I'm definitely a guy that enjoys a good fun romp, even if it is dumb. Like I liked Love and Thunder. I didn't love Love and Thunder, but like I thought like how stupid it was fun, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But like this one where it's like she's doing the cheesy monologue at the end to the people is like, dude, it's just so cheesy. I like the idea of her like talking to the people, but the like cheesy monologue is just too much. And then like, I don't know, just the idea of MODOK, who you know, I thought was okay. Like the idea of it being him, like the ideas are there in this movie, I guess, but like the idea of it being the guy from the first movie, that's a funny idea, and like that's a great idea. But like
I actually thought MODOK was one of the highlights of
I think so too, but like his face turn at the end was just so out of nowhere. Like it didn't it didn't make sense.
Immediately.
She said, "Oh, don't be a dick." And he's like, "Yep, you're right. I'm not going to be a dick." It's like, "What? Why?"
Yeah.
But like that scene where he's dying, very funny. Like I thought that was hilarious. Where he's like, I'm an Avenger. I get to die an Avenger." Like that was very funny. But like, the I guess like the destinations are there, but there's nothing in between to lead to those destinations. I guess is like the best way I could put it. Like the idea of them being in the quantum realm and like dealing with this stuff, very good idea. The way they got there, it didn't work. It's just like. What it's been
or even how they got out.
Yeah, like it didn't make sense. How were they able to get out?
But nothing was explained in this movie. It just wanted you to take a leap of faith of whatever they're doing, and it didn't work.
Yeah,
it didn't. Everybody took a leap of faith and hit face first on the concrete.
And all the characters in the quantum realm, like I just didn't care about. They didn't do a good job of like making me care about any of those characters.
No,
like at all.
Not at all.
Like the guy that reads minds was like cool, I guess. But like we didn't see enough of them. We didn't get enough like humanization of these people for me to care about them at all.
How long was this movie? Because it felt like there was so much that happened, but nothing happened, and there wasn't enough time.
I think it was just 2 hours. Yeah, this is a weird like exception to the Marvel rule where I'm like, I kind of wish this was a little longer just to like flush some stuff out.
Some things out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just 2 hours, so it was a short MCU movie.
That is short.
For an MCU movie, that's super short, yeah.
2 hours, 5 minutes.
I think Love and Thunder was also pretty short too. But with Love and Thunder, I was like, I'm glad that was short because it was just so stupid. But this one is like, there's so much there that could be cool. Like the quantum realm could be cool. Like we were saying, like that whole like Mad Maxian stuff where like those people show up in like the desert thing. Like you could expand on that and like, you know, it's like an idea that hasn't really been touched on and is like a cool thing. But then you get this like weird globby guy who's supposed to be cute, I guess. And he's like, "Oh, you have holes." And it's like, dude, the guy who's like your best friend standing next to him is also a human. Why is this like shocking to you?
Yeah.
I don't understand. And then like the end, he's like, "I have holes now." It's like, why?
Who the fuck cares?
That was so dumb. It was
dumb.
Dumb.
They tried really hard for some things that just didn't land.
Yeah. I thought
there wasn't
go ahead.
There wasn't enough relationships to build on. Like there was no relationships between anybody. It was just empty words. I guess the script is just so bad.
I think the script was just bad. Yeah. I think that was the main thing. It was just because like if it looked this bad, because the movie did look kind of bad. Not to like discredit the CG guys, I'm sure they worked their ass off because the whole movie is CG. Like if you had some practical sets, it wouldn't have looked as bad. But like, if it looked that bad but had an amazing script and was like, you know, really funny and like made me care about the
Yeah.
characters, I would have excused it a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I still would have called it
Yep.
out, but like it would have been like more excusable. The only thing this movie has going for it, I think, is just the actors are like giving what they can to what they're given.
Yep.
You know, I think
Yep.
like Jonathan Majors, who plays Kang, did a really good job. I thought Paul Rudd was pretty endearing in this movie as well, and his daughter I thought was pretty good. But like besides that, like the movie's pretty rough. Like and my favorite part of the other Ant-Man movies is Michael Douglas just being like a kooky scientist man.
Yep.
And
He's great in it in this one, I thought too.
I thought he was okay. And like he had some like really funny moments, and I like how much he cares about ants and stuff. Like that shit was pretty funny. But I do feel like he was phoning it in just a little bit. Like
you think so?
Yeah.
I think that makes it better though. Like
Yeah,
it's
you might be
obviously
right.
like he was phoning it in, but also it's like that's just fucking Michael Douglas being Michael Douglas.
Yeah, you might be
like
right.
I think that was the whole joke of it was what is he doing here? It was kind of the vibe of it. Like he doesn't belong here.
That
Ants,
was weird. Like,
you know?
You didn't need Michael Douglas down in the quantum realm. He could have been like the person on the outside, and you could have had a B plot where it's him trying to figure out how to get them out of the quantum realm, you know? Like he didn't need to be there. Well, and Hope too. Like Hope was like useless in this movie. Like she didn't do shit in this entire movie.
Didn't do anything.
So like if you had Ant-Man and because it would have been so interesting if it was Hope and Michael Douglas, Hank, right, on the outside, and they're trying to get them out of the quantum realm. That's Ant-Man and the Wasp, right?
Yeah,
he's Ant-Man. She's the Wasp.
Absolutely right.
Then you've got Ant-Man, Paul Rudd,
and the Wasp. Yeah,
and Michelle Pfeiffer. What's her name? Janet, stuck in the quantum realm. That's Ant-Man and the Wasp. That would have been fucking great. That would have been way more interesting.
100%. Yeah, we've made a better movie already.
We got the idea of one, but you know,
but no, it's better already.
Just like the San Francisco stuff at the beginning and the end all felt like just like tacked on things because they had to be there, and it's like we want this whole movie to be in the quantum realm, and it just felt weird. It felt weird. The best part of the movie to me was the stuff with Janet and Kang, where they were like stuck in the past. Like that could have been a movie.
Yeah, the throwback.
That could have been a movie in and of itself. Just like, and then like the end of the movie reveals that he's like a bad guy. That would have been such an interesting movie.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
The thing that I really hope they don't do with this phase, but I feel like they're going to, is Kang is going to be the bad guy of every single Phase 5 movie.
Yeah.
At this point. And because they're setting it up, right? And he's going to die in every single Phase 5 part of the movie. You know? Like, I feel like Kang isn't actually the bad guy in this. Like, he's not the big bad. He's just a nuisance that they're going to have to kill every single time. And something else is bigger. Like, you know, actual, like...
Super Kang.
No, not Super
Galactus?
Kang, but like... No, not. I don't think Galactus is. It would be. Who was the last big boss?
Thanos.
Thanos. It'd be like Infinity Thanos or whatever the fuck. Like the actual
King Thanos.
worst Thanos that you can get because he's using Kang as like some sort of connection to other. You know.
That'd be such a great reveal, actually. If at the end it's like King Thanos the whole time. Oh, dude, we'd all flip out.
I feel like Kang is not the bad guy. After seeing this movie, it's like, well, Loki, they killed Kang. This one, they killed Kang. Mm-hmm. And then we get to see all those Kangs like ready to fight, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna fight. And I feel like we're gonna see them all, and they're gonna be the bad guy in every movie, and they're gonna die in every movie.
Yeah, you know, I think you're totally right because it at this point I feel the threat of Kang is not there.
Yeah,
like they've taken away the stakes of Kang because we've
Yeah.
seen him die twice now. But
Yeah. Well,
maybe this Kang is still alive. I guess I don't know. Maybe he is the big bad, but I don't know. Um, it does feel like he didn't feel that threatening. The movie ended with them like punching each other.
punching him. Yeah,
Yeah,
like great. You're so powerful. I'm gonna punch you. Like, okay,
yeah.
great.
I liked
Yeah.
the like the that was actually one of the better looking parts of the movie, to be honest. But like, still, it just was like, why are we ending with like a big punch out here? It felt weird, like a
Yeah.
weird thing to end the movie
And
on.
Ant-Man versus Kang is kind of a strange matchup, right?
Yeah. Apparently, that's not even really a thing in the comics, like Kang
I
and Ant
can't
Man.
imagine.
I
I
guess.
can't imagine because they're like on separate levels in the comics.
Yeah, I'm not super knowledgeable about Kang or Ant Man as far as comics go, but apparently
Hmm.
Kang is more of like a Fantastic Four villain. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's gonna be fucking weird that if they do end up like ending with the Avengers and then doing Fantastic Four, that'll be weird. I don't think that's gonna happen though. But yeah, I don't know. It's I'm not like discounting the MCU at this point. I know a lot of people are like, man, MCU's fucking he's done, son. I'm not discounting it just because I remember Phase 2 and I remember Phase 2 having some stinkers in it. Like Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3 are kind of like Thor 2, like and
Yeah.
this is kind
Oh
of
yeah.
like the new Phase 2 that we're currently in. So um
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm not like totally discounting it. And I don't fully believe that like by the time we get to I guess Phase 6, I bet Phase 6 is going to be banging because it's all leading there, and that I'm sure that's going to be great. But like at this point, yeah, the past couple movies have been a little like underwhelming.
Yeah.
Um, well, yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
but there are some projects I'm excited about still. Like Guardians 3 looks great. I think Loki season 2 is gonna be cool. I mean, it was cool
Hmm.
that post credit scene, seeing wow, wow, I'm Owen
Oh
Wilson.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Owen
Wow.
Wilson.
I was in
Yeah.
my seat going, wow, can't believe he's there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. uh,
Oh wow.
yeah, yeah. This movie just felt like it felt disconnected and like jumbled, and it also felt like there was a lot of stuff that they had in the movie that they cut out.
Oh yeah.
Did you get that
Oh
feeling?
yeah.
Like there was stuff that they just cut
Absolutely.
out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, and I hated Janet like hiding her past for so long. It's like, dude, just fucking
It didn't
speak
like
up.
this is your family and this is a big bad guy. You would think that you would say something if it scared you that much, right? Like these are people that will help you and you're still like, "Oh no, I can't say." Okay, well, fuck you then. You know?
Wait, this guy that was in chat earlier said his dad was Bill Pope. Apparently, Bill Pope was the cinematographer. I don't believe that that's actually his son. I think he was lying to us, Nick. I think we were lied to.
Oh man.
Unless that was
You
actually Bill Pope's
serious?
son, which would be fucking wild. But
That would be wild.
I would love to have him on the podcast. Tell me what the fuck happened with this movie, dude.
Yeah. Honestly.
Like as a cinematographer, like what was shooting Paul Rudd like? Like what was that? Was it just like green screen, like bullshit? I guess we'll get the
Yeah.
behind the scenes eventually, but like what the
Oh
fuck?
yeah.
But
At least you hope so.
those behind the scenes things are like puff pieces though,
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah, but
don't
they're still fun.
they are fun. I enjoy watching them, but they don't like talk about the you know
The technical, no.
and the bullshit that happened. That's like shit you won't hear
Yeah.
about until like 20 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Um yeah, so I guess we rank these things, huh? Should we rank it?
Yeah. So I have split up the MCU
Oh wow.
rankings for us
There you go.
into every 10
Okay. Well, and we'll have
is
to
the newest thing.
reorganize these, I think, at some point, but
What do you mean?
Just as far as like where we actually place these within A, B, C, and D. But for now, this is fine.
I don't know if I understand what you're saying, but okay.
Because right now you just have it split into 10, but it's like, what if Eternals is actually an A? Or what if Guardians 2 is actually a B?
Oh,
You
I
know?
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah. For sure. Okay, yeah.
But
100%.
for
Yeah,
now, this works. Actually, let me pull this up so people can see. So it's split into 10s right now. We will reorganize this eventually, but for now, this works.
yeah. We gotta actually it's probably yeah, I see what you're saying. Because you're thinking of like a tier list where I was just thinking like A is top 10, B is top 20,
Yeah, I'm
like
thinking a
top
tier
20.
list
C.
and then
Yeah,
ranked
tier list.
within the tiers.
Yes, I get what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Mm-hmm. And it would also give us a chance now with time to like re-rank some of these things that we maybe don't agree with. But whatever.
Maybe.
Okay, at this point, do you put in A, B, C, or D?
Oh baby, this one's going straight to D tier.
I agree.
Straight to D tier. What do we got in D tier, Jake?
In D tier, we have Avengers: Age of Ultron. We have Iron Man 2. We have The Incredible Hulk. We have Ant-Man and the Wasp. We have Captain Marvel. We have Thor: The Dark World, and we have Thor. Where on in the D tier would you place this?
I have two spots that I would put it in,
Mm-hmm.
and they're right next to each other. So where would you put this one? And
Uh,
see if we match see if it matches up with at least one of those, and that's where it'll go.
I'd put it below Captain Marvel.
Okay, perfect. I was thinking below Captain Marvel or both below Thor the Dark World.
Yeah, that was my struggle too. I was like, where would it go?
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought to myself, I think I'd rather watch this than Thor: The Dark World. That's kind of what it came down
Okay, okay, yeah, I like
to.
that.
I'm like, there are some funny moments, and MODOK is cool.
Yeah.
Thor: The Dark World, I can't think of a single thing that I like about that movie.
Quantumanium?
Sure,
Maybe?
sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, that's our fucking list now, huh?
Quantumania. That's what it is.
Ah,
Quantumania.
yeah, because as we keep going, there's going to be more than 10 things within these things. So
Yeah, 100%. We will just this was just quick.
we'll do a one-off episode where we re-rank these things within the tiers.
Oh man.
I mean,
Okay.
it's free content. Why not?
Yeah, I suppose. If my
Next
internet works.
next week though, we are doing Mandalorian season 2 right before the Mandalorian season 3 kicks off. So
Nice.
that's going to be
Perfect timing.
yeah, it's almost like we planned it that way.
Almost.
Almost. But I'm excited for season 3. I've restarted Mandalorian season 2, and that shit smacks. And actually watching that after Ant-Man makes you go like, wow, Ant-Man looks fucking terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
I think that's
Yeah,
the
it
other
does.
thing with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is like, and why it's so close to Thor: The Dark World is like they have the same vibe where Thor: The Dark World is fucking ugly when they go to those other planets. It just looks
Oh
so
yeah.
bad. They have the same sort of ugliness. At least Thor: The Dark World like has some Earth stuff.
Yeah. That matters,
Yeah, yeah,
Earth stuff that actually matters. Yeah. Thor the Dark World looked like an early DC. I say early DC. I mean like Snyder's DC, where it was just like, oh,
yes,
this is just a dark place with
yes.
dark aliens,
And
and you
there's just
don't
like
really
flames behind
understand
you for
what's
some reason. Yeah.
yeah, you don't really understand why this world looks so shitty, but it is. Yeah.
Did you feel the Rick and Morty on this movie?
The Rick, yeah, I felt it with the stupid goopy guy,
Yeah, I
the
felt like
holes
there was a
guy.
lot of that. Yeah. And then there was like,
Yeah.
like the Council of Ricks, but it was Kang.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, it's like the Kang Citadel.
That is so true. That is very Rick and Morty, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's
Oh
multiverse
man.
stuff, so I mean, it makes sense that it would have some crossover there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Crazy.
that's the
Anyway.
review. That's it. Ant-Man
what
and
we
the
got.
Wasp. Bad movie.
Go see it.
I hate
It's
being
terrible.
that guy that says something's bad, but I can't help but be that guy on this one.
Yeah.
Just
Because it is bad.
Yeah.
It is actually bad.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. Go see it though,
Yep.
if you want to. Go feel yourself, man. Go live your life.
Go live your life. Don't listen to us.
There's a whole
We don't know
subsect
what
on the
we're talking
internet
about.
that's like, this is the best fucking Marvel movie I've ever seen. I'm like, okay, whatever makes you happy.
Hey,
That's cool.
that's your opinion, man.
I love that for you. I wish I liked it too.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
Take your mom. Maybe she'll like it.
Maybe she will.